Transform this decayed form to Mumm Ra!
There are many things that make a hero. Noble qualities like the courage to do the right thing in the face of adversity, loyalty to the truth, responsibility, bravery, and strength are all important, but the way we see it, the hero is only the hero when they defeat the villain, proving once more that good will triumph over evil one way or another. Villains are huge pop culture icons for the same reason. Their failure is mostly inevitable, but their chilling lack of respect for other lives, overarching passion for victory, and senseless selfishness has led to some very interesting antagonists in pop culture. If you watched ThunderCats growing up, there's no doubt you'll see Mumm Ra as an example of one of the more iconic villains. A menace to the ThunderCats, Mumm Ra's refusal to accept defeat, even though he's been beaten time and time again, is as entertaining as it is infuriating. Declan Shalvey's crossover event ThunderCats x Silverhawks includes a new origin story for this mysterious villain in a book called Mumm Ra the Ever-Living, illustrated by Rapha Lobosco and Roshan Kurichiyanil. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get right into it.
You are but insects to the power of Mumm Ra!
From First Earth, our story begins a long time ago, before Thunderians battled the mutants, long before the crazy, ever-living beast survived the unforgiving orb known as Second Earth, and even before the beast was called Mumm Ra. Our story begins on First Earth, a beautiful and rich but brutal planet. Despite being of the same species, the humans on this planet were divided. Some were masters and the others were slaves, fated to serve the former until their days came to an end. On this planet, in the old kingdom of Egypt, there was a slave called Ramesses Mi Atumu who served a local noble. It was just another day for Ramesses Mi Atumu as he was beaten up by other slaves who wanted to rob him. Ramesses Mi Atumu suggested stealing the gold they mined, but the slaves knew that they would be killed if their masters ever found out. So they had resorted to beating Ramesses up as they figured his fancy masters could hire someone new to serve them meals. Ramesses Mi Atumu's only friend, Enskerka, rushed to his aid, punching away the attackers, disgusted by the slaves turning on each other like hungry vipers. He demanded to know why he should value their lives when they couldn't value the life of a fellow slave. He was about to do their skull in with a rock when Ramesses Mi Atumu stopped him, as he did value the lives of his fellow slaves. As the others left, Enskerka accompanied him back to his master's house. Though both Enskerka and Ramesses were slaves, they received different privileges, as was evident by the red robe Ramesses was wearing compared to Enskerka's simple loincloth. As they walked home, Enskerka chided Ramesses for always finding a way to enrage people. Enskerka made up for his lack of privileges with his incredible strength and skill, and was paid by Ramesses' noble masters to protect him. Did Ramesses know that Enskerka was paid? Would it make him feel even more lonely? Your guess is as good as ours. Ramesses was an ambitious man, however. He had an insatiable thirst for knowledge. He wanted to know more. He wanted more from life. The only way he could achieve the life he wanted was to look to the gods for guidance. He knew that only they could offer him control, might, supremacy, and dominance. He understood their power. On a faraway planet, the four ancient gods of evil looked through a fiery cauldron onto the chaotic planet of First Earth. After 200 years, they found something interesting to look at, a kindred spirit. In the mines the next day, the slaves were sent to dig the treasures of the earth to present it to the great pharaoh. The slaves who had attacked Ramesses warned Enskerka that he would not be able to watch his back all the time. He wasn't scared and asked them to save themselves from further shame. After his work, he visited Ramesses and told him about a glowing rock he found in the mines. He believed this treasure was so great that it could secure their freedom. Ramesses was interested in knowing more, and his excited eyes assured the ancient spirits of evil that the seed of their plans had been planted. Enskerka had hidden the treasure on the site as there were too many eyes on him when he finished his work, so he asked Ramesses to visit the mines the next evening so they could hide the treasure in his robes and sneak it out. Unfortunately, God laughs when man makes plans. The next day, a few moments before sundown, a little before Ramesses was going to meet Enskerka at the mouth of the mine, the troublesome slaves attacked Enskerka. Enskerka warned them that he wouldn't be as lenient as he was during their last encounter, but they had arrived armed and ready. Enskerka fought like a beast, biting off flesh from his attackers, but they recovered quickly and stabbed him. The guards loudly announced the end of work and asked the slaves to return to their homes, so the attackers had to wrap up before the guards arrived to investigate. They stabbed Enskerka one last time and left him for dead after commending him for fighting longer than they expected him to. When Ramesses arrived and didn't find Enskerka, he assumed he escaped with the treasure. He cursed himself for being surprised, as everyone till then had abandoned him, starting with his heartless parents who had sold him into slavery and forgotten about him. Although overcome by anger and irritation, he decided to look if the treasure had been left behind. When he saw Enskirka lying in his own blood, he was glad to know that at least he hadn't been abandoned. He demanded to know where the treasure was, and Enskirka asked him to help him first. Rameses promised to take him to the healer if he told him where the treasure was. Enskirka insisted on seeing the healer first, and the ancient spirits whispered in Rameses' mind that Enskirka didn't trust him. He confronted Enskirka about the same, asking him why he believed he would betray him. Enskirka simply replied that Rameses would do the same if he was in Enskirka's position. The spirits whispered in Rameses' mind once more, telling him that Enskirka would abandon him the very first chance he got. So Rameses grew angry that his only friend would relinquish his trust, and as revenge, killed him. That was the moment Rameses Mi Atumu died, and someone else took his place. Soon, he discovered the treasure Enskirka was talking about, a glowing red rock that had the symbol of a snake with a head on each end. That day, the ugliness he had hidden inside him leaked out and took him over completely. The red rock glowed and opened a portal into another world, where he saw the heads of the ancient gods, a bull, a vulture, a wild boar, and a crocodile that welcomed him. Rameses stepped through and wondered if he had finally gotten his freedom. He looked around the place, which was so different from ancient Egypt, and wondered where he was. The ancient spirits of evil materialized in front of him and welcomed him to their abode. Second Earth. You and I might have been surprised or shocked to be talking to the ancient spirits of evil themselves, not Rameses. He saw it as a confirmation of his long-held belief that he was destined for greater things. The spirits knocked him down a notch immediately as his body was racked with pain. The spirits asked how a lowly, impudent human like him could dare to join superior beings. They changed his body, calling it an improvement to better survive the harsh world of Second Earth. The monster hiding inside him was pulled out and folded around him to match his soul. At that moment, when his body twisted around, changing and evolving, not even Rameses knew what he would look like and that he would soon be known as Mumm Ra. A slave with a tragic beginning and ambitions too big for his life. That's the story of how Rameses Mi Atumu went from a life without freedom to a life of what he believed to be a glorious purpose. The story reveals the extent to which the ancient spirits of evil controlled the journey of Rameses Mi Atumu to Mumm Ra. They found a troubled human being, desperate for a way out of his miserable life, and decided to make him their plaything. While the plot is interesting and has a lot of potential, it was kind of underwhelming. We found it hard to believe that Rameses, who had a problem defending himself, flipped on his only friend after just 2 or 3 whispers in his mind from the ancient spirits. Also, we didn't feel invested in his story as we barely got to know his personal struggles and ambitions. Little is known other than the fact he wanted out, and isn't that just the case with anyone enslaved? We don't think his struggles or his desires were that out of the ordinary, which should not have been the case, as this is the man who would become Mumm Ra, a man so full of ambition he nearly destroyed the ThunderCats. But this is just the first issue, and who knows, maybe we'll get to see more of his past in the upcoming issues. Coming to the art side of the comic, it is truly breathtaking. The illustrations of the ancient spirits could not have been any better. They are hidden in shadows in the beginning to create a sense of mystery, and when Rameses arrives on Second Earth, they're drawn in vicious detail. The art definitely played a supporting role to the narrative, and we loved it. We've told you what we thought about it, and now it's your turn. Are we a little too harsh in our judgment of the story, or were you disappointed as well? Go read the comic, come back, and let us know what you thought about it in the comments down below. We'll soon be back with more awesome stuff, but if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like it in the future. Otherwise, thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.